The lights dimmed inside the iconic The O2 Arena, and a wave of electricity surged through the packed crowd. This wasn't just another fight night in London. This was a moment, a statement, a warning to the heavyweight division. When the spotlight hit the entrance ramp and the first chords of the walkout music echoed around the arena, the anticipation became deafening. Because stepping into that glow was a man who carried not just power in his fists, but belief in his presence. Was AJ. Anthony Joshua had arrived. From the very beginning of his professional journey, Joshua had been marked as different. Olympic gold medalist, two-time ABA champion, an undefeated prospect with every victory ending inside the distance. 8 fights, 8 knockouts, no questions asked. But tonight felt different. Tonight he wasn't just defending momentum, he was building a reputation. Across the ring stood a seasoned veteran, a former WBC International champion, a man who had seen it all and rarely been stopped. Experience versus explosive potential. Craft versus calculated destruction. As the ring announcer's voice boomed through the arena, the roar of the crowd reached fever pitch. Joshua stood tall, composed, draped in championship blue and radiating confidence. At over 16 stone on the scales, he looked physically imposing, broad shoulders, sculpted frame, calm eyes locked forward. Yet beneath that calm exterior was a fighter ready to detonate at any second. The referee called both men to the center. Final instructions were delivered. Protect yourselves at all times. Keep it clean. Touch gloves. And just like that, the stage was set. From the opening bell, Joshua established dominance. His jab snapped out with authority, sharp, precise, and heavy enough to command respect. The veteran opponent attempted to close distance, to test the young lion's composure. But every step forward was met with resistance. A stiff jab. A thudding right hand. A subtle feint followed by a slicing counter. Joshua wasn't rushing. He wasn't wild. He was calculating. The crowd could sense it. Every time Joshua let his right hand go, there was a collective intake of breath. The first clean connection landed early, and it changed the temperature in the building. The veteran's legs dipped slightly. Not dramatically, but enough. Joshua saw it. And when a finisher senses vulnerability, instinct takes over. He stepped in behind the jab again. Boom. Right hand over the top. The impact echoed. The veteran tried to respond, brave, determined, but he was being beaten to the punch. Joshua's timing was razor sharp. He wasn't just throwing power, he was placing it. Each combination had intent. Each movement was efficient. For the first time in the contest, you could see the experience of the opponent shift from advantage to survival mode. He attempted to fire back, hoping to disrupt Joshua's rhythm. But Joshua slipped subtly, smiled almost playfully, and returned fire with even greater authority. A short left inside. Another crushing right. The veteran absorbed shots that had flattened others before him. Credit to his toughness, he refused to go quietly. But toughness alone isn't enough against elite power. By the end of the first round, the momentum was unmistakable. Joshua walked back to his corner composed, breathing steady, eyes focused. Across the ring, the veteran sat knowing he had felt something different. Something heavier, sharper, more dangerous than what he had encountered in years. Round 2 began with the same measured aggression. Joshua doubled the jab, stepping slightly to his left to create angles. He wasn't reckless. He was evolving before everyone's eyes. The veteran tried once more to find range, but every attempt to close distance resulted in punishment. A beautifully timed counter right hand snapped the head back. The crowd erupted. Joshua sensed the end approaching. He pressed forward, but intelligently. He cut off the ring instead of chasing. He feinted high, went low, then came back upstairs with a right hand that crashed through the guard. The veteran's resistance was fading. His punches had lost sting. His reaction slowed. Another combination. Right hand. Short left hook. The veteran staggered backward. The referee watched closely. The veteran, brave to the end, tried to stand firm. But Joshua unleashed one more clean, decisive shot. The referee stepped in. It was over. Just like that, inside 2 rounds, Anthony Joshua had dismantled a seasoned professional who had not been stopped in years. The arena exploded with sound. Fans leapt to their feet. This wasn't hype anymore. This wasn't potential. This was proof. Joshua raised his arms, a grin spreading across his face, not arrogance but satisfaction. The work in the gym had translated perfectly under the lights. Every drill, every repetition, every adjustment. It was all there in the performance. In the post-fight interview, Joshua remained composed. He spoke about progression, about phases, about building properly. He admitted he could have boxed more conservatively, but he wanted rounds, he wanted inside work, he wanted to test himself against durability. He respected his opponent's toughness but made it clear, when he steps into the ring, the mission is simple: dominate. And that's exactly what he did. This victory wasn't just another knockout on the record. It was a message to the heavyweight division. A statement that a new force was rising, disciplined, powerful, and frighteningly composed. At just 9 professional fights in, Joshua had already claimed his first professional belt and announced himself as a serious contender climbing the ranks. The comparisons to past greats began to whisper around the arena. The physical presence, the knockout ratio, the aura. But Joshua wasn't focused on comparisons. He was focused on steps. Phase by phase. Fight by fight. No shortcuts. What makes performances like this special isn't just the power, it's the control. Joshua took nothing unnecessary in return. He dictated pace. He managed distance. He showed patience and killer instinct in equal measure. That balance is rare in heavyweight boxing. As fans filed out of the O2 Arena that night, there was a shared understanding. They had witnessed something significant. Not just a knockout, but the construction of a champion's blueprint. And the journey was only just beginning. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Anthony Joshua's explosive performance and want more epic fight stories, powerful analysis, and legendary boxing moments, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel for more knockout content, share it with fellow fight fans, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. The celebration inside the O2 Arena was still echoing long after the referee waved it off. But for Anthony Joshua, the job was only partially complete. While the fans replayed the knockout in their minds and the commentators praised the precision and composure, Joshua had already shifted mentally to what came next. That is the difference between a prospect and a future champion, the ability to enjoy the moment without being consumed by it. Backstage, away from the noise and flashing cameras, the atmosphere was calmer but no less intense. Sweat still glistened on his shoulders as he unwrapped his hands. The gloves that had just delivered another emphatic stoppage were set aside, but the hunger in his eyes hadn't faded. For many fighters, an early knockout is a night's work done. For Joshua, it was a step in a larger blueprint. He spoke with his team quietly, reviewing moments from the fight almost immediately. The jab had landed cleanly. The right hand had found its target repeatedly. But there were still small adjustments to be made. Subtle defensive movements, positioning on the inside, pacing between combinations. Even in dominance, he searched for improvement. That mindset is what transforms raw power into sustained greatness. The veteran opponent had been durable, experienced, and resilient. For years he had survived against strong competition. Yet against Joshua, he appeared overwhelmed not just physically but technically. It wasn't reckless aggression that broke him down, it was intelligent pressure. Joshua controlled range with the jab, used feints to draw reactions, and punished every hesitation.